Yuck! Oh yeah. Welcome to Destination Station. This is another episode of What's Brewing. What's brewing in the game industry and what in the movie industry. It's been a long time since we have, not a long time, it's been about a month since we've uploaded a video. Been pretty tied down with family and life. You know, life happens sometimes, but we're back and we're coming strong, and we're going to be back every week like we promised. Easter, spring break, work, just everything, you know, it just kind of comes in between. I'm pretty sure you had the same issues, Martin.
Yeah.
So we're just going to jump into it. We're going to do games first, and we will move on to movies after we're done with games.
All right, just got a few things here. We've taken that little bit of time off. We're not going to go over everything that we've missed since our last episode. We'll just go over the stuff that's happened this past week. I've seen that DICE is reportedly prototyping a Battle Royale mode for Battlefield, the one coming out this year. But what I've looked up and heard from different articles and different sources that they've gotten was that even if it is ready, it's not going to be out at launch of Battlefield. Even if it's approved, it might come out as a free update later on after the game's out. It might be put into a future game, or it might become a standalone title from EA. So they're prototyping it, but not even sure if it's going to be in the Battlefield game this year at all.
Okay.
Also, Black Ops 4, same thing. Looking into a Battle Royale mode, and the rumor going around is they're going to take out the single-player campaign. Haven't said why. They just, sources have said there will be no single-player mode or campaign, and they're going to put in a Battle Royale mode instead of the single-player campaign.
It's not completely confirmed, but they are.
Yeah, it's going around everywhere. Yeah. And I know some people are saying, oh, no single campaign, that's going to hurt sales. Well, most of the stuff I've looked at is it's a small minority group of people that actually play the campaign and beat the campaign throughout, the Call of Duties. Most people buy it for multiplayer. And if you're only a single player campaign, but you're going to add in this Battle Royale mode, I think that's going to boost sales.
I think it will too. I think it's a good trade-off, but I do like sometimes a good Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But the last few entries, besides World War II, their campaign was actually pretty decent. But I didn't like Black Ops 3. I didn't care for.
I didn't like Black Ops 2's either.
Infinity War. I didn't care for its campaign either. So
I actually liked that one. I liked how it was kind of an open. You could go do this mission or this mission. You didn't. It kind of.
Yeah, they tried something
different.
Let
you choose your own mission type thing, and I did like that. But that futuristic stuff, I got burnt out on.
Yeah, I'm tired of shooting robots.
Yeah.
I'm tired of doing that. They did that in Gears of War 4. It's like, come on now.
I hope Black Ops 4 doesn't go back to the way Black Ops 3 was. I hope it does like Vietnam War style or something.
Battle Royale modes are high because, PUBG, the success of PUBG, Fortnite is killing it. I'm just saying that, like, even Red Dead Redemption 2 has rumors saying that it's going to have a Battle Royale mode. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and you get, like, Activision, all them, these huge AAA developers adding in Battle Royale mode instead of a small group of people that did like PUBG. And I mean, Epic is a bigger developer with Fortnite. But I mean, you get these bigger top tier people putting in a Battle Royale mode. I mean, that's saying a lot, and that might hurt PUBG and Fortnite if you've got Activision putting one in their games.
Right, yeah. So that's the big hype now. BR mode's what they're calling it. Battle Royale.
And we also got, apparently, the Netherlands, their Dutch gaming authority, has now ruled that some loot boxes are considered gambling.
Isn't that who does Mortal Kombat?
No, I meant Netherlands as in, like, the country.
Oh, I thought Netherrealms is what I was thinking about the developer.
The Netherlands, their Dutch gaming authority, has made the ruling that loot boxes are considered gambling in some instances, and some of the games that were mentioned were FIFA 18, Dota 2, PUBG, and Rocket League. Because apparently, on some of them games, when you get the loot boxes, you pay real money for a random chance at something. But some of these games, apparently, people are able to resell some of these items for real money to other players. And they said that's where it violates their law and it becomes gambling. And it says the deadline for them to fix this is June 20th of this year. So they have until June, these games, to fix these issues. They've also stated that, if they want to keep them in, each individual game will have to apply for a gambling license in that country.
Oh, shit.
And get approved for it to stay in the game. And then for other loot boxes that don't fall into that group,
Yeah.
like like Call of Duty, you open their loot boxes, it does this like whole little bright colors and makes a noise so everybody knows, and
It's like a slot machine.
Yeah. They said that those have got to go. There can't be any flashy colors and noises, and you can't open a bunch back to back to back. They said that entices the gambling aspect of it.
You shouldn't be able to pay for them. You shouldn't have to pay for them.
Yeah, so they said all the little flashy lights and, cool sounds and stuff. You can't have that in the games either.
I tell you who's got the worst. I think you agree with me. I think you even said it, that PUBG, their little box thing where it sucks. And that's one thing that
I don't
sucks.
even play that much of that game, and I've gotten duplicates. And I've only bought like 5 boxes.
I'm like,
how am I getting a duplicate?
I'm like, man, this, at least on the console version, on the Xbox, it
But at
sucks.
least you don't spend real world money, though. Like, you use points that you gain from matches.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just, at least from last time I played it, I couldn't go in and spend $5 and get, a loot box. You have to earn them in game.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
It might be better on PC, but Xbox is the only thing I have experience with.
I haven't played it in so long. If I play a Battle Royale game on Xbox, it's going to be Fortnite.
Yeah.
It runs so much better.
Yep.
And then here's one that I'm not going to know much about because I'm a poor man that doesn't have a PlayStation 4. But God of War just came out today. But this man over here does have a PlayStation 4, so he knows a lot more on this subject than I do.
I just picked it up not too long ago. I pre-ordered it a couple weeks ago, and it's getting phenomenal reviews. It's getting phenomenal reviews. It's basically, it's continuing the story of God of War 1, 2, 3. You could easily say it's God of War 4. It's just changed its combat up. If you're into games and you don't know anything about the new God of War, you're living under a rock because this is all over the place. It's getting like a masterpiece.
And I'm sure there's Easter eggs. If you've played the old ones, I'm sure there's stuff in there that you're going to see. But you don't have to go out and play the old PS2 God of War 1 and 2 to play this game.
Right.
You can jump in at this
It's very
point.
narrative. And what really intrigues me about this is that I've seen a lot of people talk about the camera never cuts. It always it's like a one shot from the beginning to the end, unless you die. But if you don't die, there's no cuts, there's no loading screens or anything. It's all just like... It just flows together. It's like
I've also heard they've got a fast travel system in the game where you're able to fast travel.
Yeah.
But with that one shot type thing, one camera, one shot thing, I wonder how they incorporate the fast travel with that.
Right.
There's got to be some kind of cool way to where it doesn't cut.
Right, that's true. I don't know much about the fast travel, but I do know the game does open up. It's kind of linear at the beginning, but I heard it opens up, and I heard it's 25 to 30 hours of storyline gameplay,
plus the side
and there's
stuff.
side bosses that you can fight. So it's not just side missions that are useless.
Post game content, even after you beat the main game, you can still go back and do other stuff after the game's beat.
Yep.
And the people that I've listened to on other podcasts and some other stuff that I've watched, those people actually didn't even use the fast travel system. They acknowledged it was there, but they said they didn't even know what it looked like because they never used it.
Right.
They like going
exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're going to pass up stuff. You're going to have to come back and do this and do that. And basically, the one thing I do want to see in this, because you do have an axe, and if you throw it, it's like Thor. You throw it, and you have to hit a button. It doesn't come back automatically like a boomerang or something. When you throw it, it'll stick to an enemy or go through an enemy and hit the wall, and you have to hit a button for it to be called back, and it can hit enemies on the way back, and it just you catch it like Thor's hammer. And I've heard people talk about that they've left it further back in the game. They forgot that they threw it at some enemies earlier in the game, and they're further an hour down the game, and then they hit the button, and you hear it going ting 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 ting, and comes to your hand. The only thing that I do want to see in this game, and I know that they say, avoid all spoilers as possible, and that's what I've been trying to do. The only thing I've only seen the beginning of the game, which I've seen at E3 and all that kind of stuff, is I want to see the chains of Olympus to come back that he uses in the old ones. I hope he gets a hold of those weapons again, and he uses because they're like hooks with chains.
Yeah.
And he's whipping them around. I hope somewhere in the game he comes across and he obtains the chains of Olympus. Maybe for the climax of the game or something. Yeah. That'd be awesome. That's it. That's all I got to say about God of War. stay tuned next week for more impressions because I'll start on it today.
And then we got our thoughts on Far Cry 5 because that has been released since our last show.
Yep. And I've been meaning to talk about this since it came out, but now that I've beat the game, I've done. I have some side missions I got to complete and stuff like that, but they're pretty much pointless side missions. I mean, it's just like to dick around in the game a little bit more. And I love it. Far Cry 5. I wouldn't say it's a perfect game, but it's definitely fun and it's easy to play.
It's got some really good graphics. I mean, the graphics are very well done. The co-op is super fun. I've got some issues with it just because if you're the person joining your friend's game, the only thing that carries back over to your game is whatever money and experience you've collected.
Yep.
So if you've done something in their game that you haven't done in your game, you're going to have to redo it. So
right.
You'll be redoing a lot of the same missions in single player and multiplayer because of that.
Right.
But it's a blast to go in and play 2-player.
Yeah, it's awesome that they added co-op because that is really the way to play. I love just exploring the game in co-op. Just teaming up together.
Yeah.
I mean, you always get like these guns for hire.
It makes
or
the
things
outposts
for hire.
and stuff a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. It does. And
can't you still have your gun for hire and
if it's
your co-op person?
Well, if it's just you get 2 guns for hire, or you can get 1 guns for hire and 1 fang for hire. Which fang for hire is animals. You tame a dog, a bear,
and a cougar.
A cougar. Is that the only ones?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you can get 2 of those. You can get 2 guns for hire, or 2 fang for hires, or 1 of each. But if you're doing co-op with someone, if I join your game, we can only bring 1 along. So I mean, it works out. So it's definitely fun, and you probably get more out of a co-op player than you would an AI player.
Oh yeah, and it makes the outposts a little bit easier, especially when some of them outposts, if you want to do it stealth, use stealth and not go in guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
You got, doing it in co-op mode, you can come from 2 different angles, whereas the AI, you can't do that with AI. It's just not that smart. It's going to follow you or go to where you told it to, but with 2 human players, you can attack from different angles.
Yeah. And also, I would say that the side missions in this game is probably better than any other Far Cry game because they don't seem like simple side missions. They seem like storyline.
It's not worthless.
Yeah.
There's actually some substance.
Puzzles, or you're doing something that feels like it would be a storyline side mission.
Feels worthwhile.
Yeah. Now I did, after I beat the game and everything, and we're going to talk about the bad guy in a minute because I know that's what everyone goes to these Far Cry games for, is for the bad guy. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to talk about the gameplay as far as like physics between like Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5. I haven't really played all the entries. I think I played a little bit of 3. I know everybody praises 3.
Yeah, I played a good bit of 3.
Yeah, and I know
everybody 4.
Everybody loves that bad guy. Says that that he was
Pagan Man and
that was 4.
The other guy. I can't think of his name now.
I can't think of him either. But I need to go back and play Far Cry 3 if they get like a remaster.
See, the one I always hear about that people worry about is Pagan Man from 4. How good of a villain he was.
He was good, but a lot of people say he doesn't compare to the 3rd villain.
And they're saying that a lot of the things I've read up on and watched, they're saying the Far Cry 5's villain is probably the weakest out of the 3, 4, and 5. But I liked him. I thought it was kind of cool.
I thought he was a little different because
I like the cold aspect.
The cold aspect is cool. He seems very menacing at first. Like, that opening scene gives you chills, dude. I mean, it's so cinematic. It's amazing. It's probably one of the best opening scenes I ever played.
Straight up looks like Jared Leto to me, though. It looks like...
With the man bun?
Yeah, the man bun and the glasses and just kind of the way he's acting just reminds me of Jared Leto and some of the roles he's playing.
He kind of looks... To me, he kind of looks like the villain in Far Cry 3, except they changed his nose a little bit. If you look at it, kind of, like, it reminded me of that. Huh?
He's not as tan.
No, that's true. But basically, he's kind of like, you think he's gonna be real menacing. I wish they would have took it up a notch to where he was just like he seems like he's calm on the front side, but he's really like ballistic on the other side. But they never really take it to that. And the climax, it has a few different endings and everything, and you can play different. And I played all of them. Well, not all of them. I played 2 of them, the 2 main ones. And both of them were kind of like, eh. One of them is very unsatisfying. I'm just kind of like, whatever. And then the other one is, where you basically have to fight them and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of like, I was kind of left. I thought it could have ended on a better note.
Yeah.
And but
see, I haven't beat it yet, so I don't know how the ending
Yeah.
is. But so far, what I've done, I've enjoyed.
yeah,
I do like him as a villain. I like the cult aspect. I do like, you know,
it's definitely cool.
the setting is awesome.
Yeah.
I like the way it goes. I mean, if you get in a car and you're driving around, you're gonna run into enemies just all the time on the road.
Let's
so it kind of
talk about
forces
that.
you to go on foot through the woods.
Yeah.
Because I've done it, you know, like you're driving down the road and every time you turn around, you're running into an enemy.
Yeah.
And it gets annoying, but as soon it makes you get out of the car and actually go off on foot into the woods. And when you do that, you don't really run into them like that anymore.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute, because that's one thing I did want to talk on. It does get better later on down in the game, like when you go to Faith's region, or you go to, I think it's John's region?
John, see.
Yeah, but that first, what's that first region where you're with Falls End and all that?
I'm not sure.
The one you see all the E3 footage from?
That's where I'm at. It falls in.
Okay, so you're at the beginning.
Stuff. Yeah,
is that John Seed?
I'm not sure.
Or
I
Jacob?
mean,
I think that is John Seed. Jacob is the one that's
top
further up.
northwest.
Yeah. So, and then you got the big bad, which is the father.
Yeah, but the beginning place, like you can go to any one of them. You don't have to go there, but the story pretty much urges you to go to Falls Inn. That's where it's telling you to go, even though you can go wherever you want.
It's
and
where you want to get the
enemies
tutorial.
Every 15 to 30 seconds.
That pisses me. That pissed me off because here's the thing: is that whenever there were some missions where I had to hijack a gasoline truck, and it was hard to get it back to its destination because all these enemies are showing up out of nowhere. They're just spawning in on the streets.
They can straight up do a 180 and just chase you
They
down.
can shoot your truck and blow you up with the truck, and you can never get it back. I mean, it's like luck. It's like maybe you should do that mission before all that started, because there's a moment to where all the people start. There's like a bounty on your head, and they all start like spawning in
you
everywhere.
get that. There's that one part I did it last time I played. It popped up and says that they're coming after me. It gives you some kind of info to let you know that they're coming to capture you.
Yeah.
And they are out to get you, and it's inevitable. Once that pops up, it doesn't matter. If you're about to start a mission, it will keep them off of you long enough to finish that mission, but as soon as your objective is complete and you get away from that, they're on you. And you can fight, but they're going to catch you, and it is tense because going in, not knowing anything, and you're fighting them because they're coming after you, and then eventually you get captured.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tense moment.
Yeah, I would say, like, whenever you see that one mission pop up where you have to get the gasoline trucks, do that mission before that shit happens. Because it's like going through hell trying to get it back to its destination. And that's one thing. Another thing is the spawning on it at that first region. When you get to Face regions and Jacob's region, you don't really deal with that as much.
It's just that first
region.
It
Falls in. It's at that first quarter of the game, and it's like it's like they're spawning. Like I can see them spawn from down the street, and I'm like, that's a little glitchy. You know, that's not as clean as it could be. But I mean, they're just coming for it. They'll be running out the woods. They'll be spawning in trucks in front of you, and I'm like, what kind of bullshit?
Random four-wheelers and all kind of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, you'll just be driving, and all of a sudden there's 2-3 enemies in the road with a civilian on their knees.
Yeah.
And it seems like every half mile you're running into bad guys. And you're having to run. And
Yep. And then and I kind of want to compare it to like other Far Cry's as far as like physics. I was looking at this like comparison video. I can't remember where I was watching. I was watching some video on YouTube. And they basically showed that, like, in Far Cry 4, like, using a helicopter, which it wasn't co-op and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it was co-op.
I think they had a co-op way to play, but it wasn't the story campaign.
Okay, it's a side thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like you're going for the outposts or whatever.
It had its own thing.
Yeah.
Well, I saw, like helicopters, whenever they, like, the physics of it is, like, if they got like close to the ground or close to the tree lines and stuff, in Far Cry 4 you could see like the limbs and the leaves all like shifting from the wind and all that because of the helicopter. In Far Cry 5, when you're in a helicopter, you get down low next to the trees, it's like stand still. It's like there's not even a helicopter there. I mean, it's like minor nitpicks like that if you want detail. Far Cry 4 does kind of have a step up as far as like landscape and all that, because this is Montana. It's not as cool as where were we in Far Cry 4? I don't know where
like
we were.
Himalaya region.
Yeah, Himalayas.
Yeah, and then 3 you're like in kind of like a Caribbean style.
Yeah.
Islands and stuff.
Yeah, and
Rainforest.
so like there's some physics like that that's not part of it, but it makes up for it in other places because this is like guns blazing, co-op. Let's blow everything up.
You should be able to fly airplanes and all kind of stuff.
Airplanes are added to it, but one thing is that I actually enjoyed that doesn't get enough praise is Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it, even though they use like a different language and all that kind of stuff.
I liked it. And
It
having
was
to
fun.
scavenge, you go to a tree and you pull like the limbs off to make arrows and
Yeah.
stuff. I enjoyed it. It was a fun game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I could play that right now, but I mean, they didn't come out with any DLC, so it was like one and done.
Yeah, but as far as, it's a very enjoyable, fun game, good single player, good co-op. I definitely do recommend Far Cry 5. It is worth it.
Yeah, and I also recommend getting the season pass, which I haven't yet. I plan on doing so because they do have
zombies.
They got zombies. They got alien planet. They're like going to Mars or something. They got Vietnam, and then they got with the season pass. You also get the Far Cry 3 with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of worth it, for the $40 of the season pass.
And it comes out May 20 something. If you've got the season pass, you get access to Far Cry 3 near the end of May. If you don't have the season pass, then you are able to purchase it sometime in June.
Okay.
Because it releases later and you have to pay for it. But if you get the season pass, you get it for free and you get it early.
Yeah.
So
is it HD? Is it remastered or is it?
I'm not sure.
It says Classic Edition, but I see other reviews online saying that like you're going to get Far Cry 3 remastered, and I'm like, oh, when I read it, it says Far Cry 3 Classic Edition.
Which makes you think it's just a direct kind of port.
Like 360.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it's remastered, I'm down. But will I really go back and play it?
Yeah, but if you get it for free, get it for free.
That's true. If I get the season pass, I'll get it. But I would rather it be just the remastered edition. All right.
And we got Shenmue. If any of y'all were Shenmue fans from Dreamcast and and Xbox, OG Xbox, they are re-releasing 1 and 2. You got the third one coming out. It was crowdfunding, kickstarted, and they are re-releasing Shenmue 1 and 2. I'm not sure if it's a remake or just a re-release. Like, are they going to boost up the graphics to HD, but is it just going to kind of keep the same graphics and be HD, or are they actually going to modernize it and make it look better? Because it was Dreamcast, and if you go back and look at some Dreamcast games, compared to what we got now, it is kind of jarring. It is
really
kind of dated. You can tell the graphics did not age as well with some of those games. It'd be cool to go back.
I never played them.
I had the first one for Dreamcast. I was one of the people that did buy a Dreamcast, and I loved it while it was alive before Sega killed it. And Shenmue 1 was fun, but it kind of did get boring to me after a while because you weren't really doing anything epic. It just
Is
felt
it like
you were
martial arts type fighting?
Kind of. Just felt
Sleeping
like more
Dogs?
you were... No, it's not as action-packed and stuff as that. It felt like you were living this guy's everyday
I
life.
like Sleeping Dogs.
Like, there's no... You're living just his daily life. Like, you're going to the shop, or you can go do this, and time passes in real time. Day, night, people are going to the store, going to work, coming home. Like, it's like you're in a living world, but nothing just really felt that epic. Like, you were just living this guy's life.
Yeah. So it's basically the world is really alive.
Yeah.
But it's...
like, if you go to this place at 3 p.m., somebody's house, well, they probably won't be there, they'll be at work. And you can actually watch them walk from where they work to their house. It was cool, but I just kind of got burnt out on it, and I got ADD real bad when it comes to video games sometimes, and that's one of those ones I just didn't beat.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go back to it if they bump up the graphics. If I'm going to be playing a game now and it's going to have Dreamcast graphics, I might skip it because it's just dated. It's hard to go back.
Man, I love that name. That was a great console.
I love Dreamcast.
Man, I love Dreamcast.
I just hated decisions Sega made around it.
Yeah.
It could have been a great console. We also got Dark Souls Remastered. Still coming out as planned for Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Never played
it. It is. I tried. I couldn't get into it. That's another thing with games. If I start dying 500 times, I get really mad.
Yeah.
And I want to throw my controller, so I'm just not a Souls fan. But the Dark Souls 1 remaster for Switch is now delayed to an unknown date in the summer. They said it will be released later this summer. Alright, I got 2 more topics left on video games. Next one is Castlevania is coming back. I was totally psyched when I saw that in a title online. I was like, oh hell yeah, new Castlevania. Then I looked more into it, and it's a iOS, iPhone only app. It is a phone touchscreen game, which is stupid, and it's Japan only right now. Why the hell you would release a Castlevania game when it's been so many years since the last one, and that was a beloved series by a lot of people, and you release it on a phone for a quick cash grab? Konami is just not the company they used to be. They're butchering all the game, all the franchises they had that would make them money that they could come back with, and they just make poor decision after poor decision. I mean, Metal Gear Survive. Who thought that would make money is beyond me. That was a bad decision. The Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine.
Yeah.
Like, it might be popular over there, but for us Western audiences, we don't give a shit about your pachinko machine.
Pachinko.
Yeah, and then now Castlevania on iPhone. Like, no, just give us a good Castlevania game on the Switch or whatever, but not that. And then the last thing I got, which will tie into our movie discussions, is they have now announced that there will be a Division movie, Tom Clancy's Division by Ubisoft. They are making a movie. Right now, the director of Deadpool 2 is slated to be the director of the Division movie, and they've signed on Jessica Chastain and Jake Gyllenhaal, I guess, to be the main roles of this Division movie. And Ubisoft Productions is doing it.
This is completely unnecessary. I think this is, I mean, come on. Video game movies already have a it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
It's already
They're
hard.
hardly any good.
And and I'd say that this last Tomb Raider, it was decent enough. But they keep like let's say Assassin's Creed, they put Michael Fassbender. They keep putting these like Oscar attender, like top-notch type actors in it that are probably pretty expensive.
Yeah, and then you kind of butcher the story.
Yeah, you're spending too much money on the actors
direction.
to get people in the seats when you need to be focusing more on the story, the setting, your production design, etc. I love Jessica Chastain. I think she's beautiful. I think she's one of the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood right now. And Jake Gyllenhaal is badass
he's
and
a
everything.
Great actor.
Yeah, he's
But this is the second video game movie. He was in Prince of Persia, which I did enjoy watching it, but it still was not a good movie. I mean,
it could have been better.
Right.
It could have been better.
And now he's in the Division. I mean, if they do this right, that world is a cool world.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the game. I liked the world. I liked the whole story behind it and the world building they did to make it. But they've got Division 2 coming out. They've already announced that they're making a Division 2, and then now you're adding a Division movie.
Yeah.
If done right, I mean, that world is cool. That would be great to see in a movie if they do it correctly. But if you look at everything else that's been done, and I mean, Ubisoft already did Assassin's Creed movie, and it didn't do well. I mean,
Assassin's Creed's a lot more fan base because over the years you got so many people that's on board.
Look at how many Assassin's Creed games there's been.
Yeah.
And there's only been one Division, and the second one has just been announced it's going to come.
Yeah,
there's
now
only
you're going to make
game.
a movie?
Yeah.
Like, come on, wait till you build your fan base just a little bit more.
I mean, even Splinter Cell, it might have been cool to have a Splinter Cell movie if it done right, or...
I could see that. I could see a Splinter Cell movie being decent.
Dark, gritty, special agent.
Which Splinter Cell is now in Wildlands.
Yep, they did add him in Wildlands. He's a lot older.
Yep.
Gray hair.
Yep.
They even makes a remark talking about Snake from Metal Gear Solid, talking about another special ops agent who wears a bandana, and then they say, no, he retired. Then he makes the remark that he's the only one left. He looks older, looks a little bit more beaten down.
They think that's a teaser for an E3 announcement.
For another Splinter Cell game coming out. And
that would be cool.
Having the original voice actor and all that back.
I miss a good Splinter Cell game. I mean, honestly, a lot of people didn't like Conviction. I enjoyed Conviction. I thought it was...
See, man, I didn't play the last couple. I mean, I played the first one or two, and I do remember them being a little difficult.
I remember the last one was difficult, but the one before that was Conviction, and I remember it was like Michael Ironside. I think he's like one of the voices for.
He's the main one.
Yeah, he's the main one.
They changed him up in another one of the games.
I just remember
People
like the
didn't
opening scene, like the way the credits come up, like side on the mirror and side on the roads and stuff like that. I remember you going in this bathroom, man. You whoop this dude's ass, and you break his face across like a toilet and a like a sink, and like it breaks to pieces. I'm like, dang, this is it's very cinematic. It was kind of linear. I'm not gonna lie, but it was a fun game, and that was whenever I wasn't such a big gamer, so I thought that was pretty epic in my opinion back then. But yeah, which we already talked about Far Cry 5. Are we on to movies?
Yep, we are now on to the movie topics.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get it out. Halloween has been having updates after updates every week, maybe twice a week. We're getting an update on this. The mask reveal was just the other day. I'll put links in the description of like the way it looks and everything. It's kind of like an older look. It looks like it's just like kind of dried up, like it's like almost like a person's face would be, like an older face, like how they would get
aged.
Wrinkles. Yeah, it's aged.
Like it's been aged.
And it's also that he's got one eye in this one because it's since this is a direct sequel of the first one. Remember in the climax of the first film, he got a clothes hanger in his eye when Jamie Lee Curtis was in that closet. So yeah. I am hoping that when they do this film, that we get to see the climax of the first film on the big screen, and it plays into this film because that's what they're all leading up towards. So yeah, that's the mask reveal is online, and he's only got one eye due to the clothes hanger thing. Jamie Lee Curtis has actually seen the trailer and some of the footage, and she states that it's terrifying. She said, they went full tilt boogeyman. I would have called it Halloween retold. There's more to the quote than that, but that was basically the most of it. And she said that like that basically it's like it's basically her story, but it's her granddaughter in this one. So it's going to play in the role. I'm pretty sure that, you know, her granddaughter's going to take on the mantle as the final girl and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just no one knows where Michael has been all these years. Are they going to make him to where he's incarcerated, or has he just been
somehow he breaks out
MIA all these years? So I mean, just time will tell. Jason Blum just announced today. He confirmed it today that John Carpenter is scoring the Halloween film. So yeah, we've been waiting on this. It seems like, you know, it's been speculation that he would do this, and I really think he was just waiting to see if it was a good product. I think he was waiting to see that what was put on film was going to be in his vision of Michael Myers. So yeah, Jason Blum, he finally confirmed that John Carpenter's scoring the film. We're all us fans of Halloween, we're all stoked about it. So yeah, I really think that John Carpenter's just holding out and just making sure that this was going to be on par of his vision and his approval, and being like, okay, yeah, now I'll put my score on the film. I'm behind you 100%. So this has got to be good. I mean, if John Carpenter actually not just like giving his blessing, he's putting his name on it, he's putting his score on it. It's supposed to be a direct sequel of the original, and it's supposed to lead straight into it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Today, what's out today is Super Troopers 2.
I actually really want to see that.
I do too.
I enjoyed the first one. It was a funny ass movie.
Yeah. It was dumb, but it was like dumb.
Yeah, it was a good stupid funny. It wasn't a bad stupid.
Like Dumb and Dumber, like the first time. It works. Like some movies failed to do this, but it was very witty. It works. Actually, I need to pick it up because I really enjoy that film and I want to refresh my memory on some of the jokes. But also, you know, it comes out on 4/20. That's great marketing. They're trying to get out before Avengers next week. And, you know, they got 1 week. They got 1 week to make some money.
It was kickstarted. I mean, it was a totally kickstarted project. I mean, they hit all their milestones they needed to.
Yep. So, and you know, they need a hit because Broken Lizard, the what's his name? I forget he's the writer, director. He's one of the actors, too. But he writes, you know, Club Dread, all these Broken Lizard films.
And the Beer Fest.
The Beer Fest, which was decent. They should have came out with Pot Fest.
Yeah.
That would have been a hit. But they did some direct DVD stuff, and it was like, man, they just started losing money. So now they're hoping
going down. I'm hoping this will bring them back.
This will bring them back, and they do some stuff right. Hopefully, they do a sequel to Beer Fest or do Pot Fest or something. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Super Troopers. Today's my birthday, so it came. God of War and Super Troopers 2 came out on my birthday. It's a great birthday, and that's why I'm drinking early. And so yeah, go see Super Troopers 2. Go support that film because it's only got 1 week to last up against Avengers, and you got all these big blockbusters coming up next. So go support this movie if you want more comedies like this. And I could always use more comedies. They're few and far between. Good ones. Next is Stranger Things Season 3 adds the cast of Carrie Elwes and Jake Busey. You'll know Carrie Elwes. He was in the original Saw, also the final chapter of Saw. He was the Dr. Gordon. And he was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. That's where I know him mainly from. And he was in The Princess Bride. The Princess Bride. Those are probably some of the main roles that most people, would have known what he's from. He's in other stuff too, like not the Long Kiss Goodnight. The Kiss Girls. What's that movie? Kiss Kiss Girls, or something like that with Morgan Freeman. I don't know. It was like a suspense thriller. I can't remember that movie. Anyways, yeah, Carrie Elwes and then Jake Busey. I'm really he's lucky to be here, honestly, because Jake Busey is been in a lot of straight to DVD stuff. He's a B movie actor. I did like him in Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers. And
was he the main character in it?
He was his friend. The guy that looks like, with the blonde,
the
goofy guy.
Yeah, Gary Busey's son. Yeah. He's got the he's got the same mouth as his dad.
Yeah. So he's going to be in it. So he's lucky to be here. So maybe this will bring his career back. But I've always enjoyed him in movies. I thought he kind of stood out as a character. He was great in Identity, that movie with John Cusack. That was a great horror thriller mystery. I stand behind that movie. Great movie if you haven't seen Identity. I think it was a Stephen King short or Stephen King novel or something, but very good whodunit thriller. So yeah, that's Stranger Things Season 3. It Chapter 2, this has already been announced like last week or so. I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but I know that it's rumored that Jessica Chastain is signed on to play Beverly, the adult version of Beverly. Bill Hader is attached to play Richie, the adult version of Richie, and James McAvoy is the adult version of Bill.
Oh, heck yeah.
So I think that's amazing. They're spending I'm pretty sure they got a bigger budget to work with this second film. Kiss the Girls. Yep, yeah. I couldn't remember what the name was.
Yeah, that's what I was over here looking at.
I was thinking Long Kiss Goodnight, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Kiss the Girls. I was like, I was confused. But yeah, he was in Kiss the Girls. He's that's him. Carrie Elwes. And he's been in a lot of stuff. You can go back and look at all his stuff. But he's pretty decent. But anyways, back to It Chapter 2. I really like this cast build up. I think these are probably the first 3 characters that you would want to like focus on first. Like who are we gonna? Because Bill, Richie, and Beverly were probably the main 3. And everybody else is kind of, I'm not going to say that they're worthless or anything, but they're just kind of like...
They're supporting those 3.
Yeah, they're supporting those 3, You got the comedy relief, you got the main guy.
The first one was amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was a great movie. If they could continue that into this second part, make it better than the originals part 2. If it can be better than the originals
it's gonna be
part
better
2.
Than that. It's got to be. Mm-hmm. They got a bigger budget to work with this one. And
bigger name people involved in it.
I do hope that they get a good cast for Ben, because I feel like in the first It Chapter 1, they didn't give enough love to that character as they did in the original miniseries. The bigger kid. I even though they got a good kid, he was great. He was a good actor.
If they could put in some nice little Easter eggs to fans of the originals, to where maybe have the original cast that was in it part 2, have them be like kind of extra somewhere where you can be watching it and all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, hey, there's the guy that played this person.
Well, that's going to be hard to do because John Ritter's dead, who played the adult version of it. And the guy who just played Richie, he just died this week.
Oh, dang.
He just died. It was all over. I was like, oh, man.
Well, there goes that idea.
Yeah. So,
so that ain't going to work.
I don't know who else they could get. I didn't really like the adult version of Eddie. That guy really annoyed me. I don't think they would do that. Yeah, I think it's their main actor. Oh, well, they could get what's her name, the adult version of Beverly. She's decent in some stuff.
Just sometimes I like when it's like a remake of an older movie. If you could just have, like one or two of the actors that were in the original have, a very minor role. Because sometimes these ones that were like straight to movie, straight to video or whatever, like just weren't as big. Movies getting remade and made bigger.
Yeah.
But just to have a little homage to the old show. Like, even if that person's just a clerk in a grocery store for 30 seconds, at least for the people that were fans of the original, be like, oh, hey, there's the one that played this person in the old movie.
Yep. Yeah. The only thing is that I don't think the fans really care about the adult version of Bill. I think that was really miscast. I think he was just kind of like very awkward and very uninteresting. So I don't think they would do that with him. But yeah, I mean that's I vaguely remember parts of the original, the part 2 of it of the original one. So I mean, even if they did throw that in there, it would be lost on me because I wouldn't notice it. Yeah, it's like something you would have to read on IMDb or something, some trivia. But yeah, I don't know if this is actually 100% confirmed or what. I just know that this is rumors that they are in talks of it and everything. So a lot of this stuff, these actors on it is kind of like what fan theories. They're what they would cast. Like they've done a lot of fan artwork and stuff like that, and they've done like It Chapter 2. Here's the poster, and they put Jessica Chastain or Bill Hader or something like for certain characters. So it's kind of like they're taking the idea from the fans and being like, oh, is that who you would want? And reading comments and forums and all that and being like, okay, well, we'll, do that. And I just, what I hope is like, I want to know what the budget is for It Chapter 2 because I know these actors ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Bill Hader might be a little cheaper than James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain, but I just know that don't spend all your money on your actors, I guess, like,
and then cut it somewhere else. Like, you still need to have good writing. You still need to have a good, set, a good,
CGI. I mean, all this kind of stuff. Just, I hope that they're putting so much love into this that they're like, you know what, we are going to make It Chapter 2 so much better. Hopefully, even better than the first one, and that's going to be hard to do. But just because the miniseries It Chapter 2 was just so. Like nobody wants to watch it really, but they did confirm that the kids from the original will be back in It Chapter 2. So I don't know if it'll be in flashback sequences or if they'll be at the beginning and then it'll flash back to so many years later.
Yeah, I could see it being the flashback.
I would like that because I kept saying, I was like, man, I want to see these kids again. I want to see them again on screen. So maybe they give the the first 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something. And the good send off.
Fast forward.
Yeah. Or it's going to start off as them as adults and they flash back
for
like they did
period of time.
like they did in the original. So either way, I think it could work. Either way, I just hope it's not too jarring. Don't keep doing several flashbacks. Yeah. I want to see this.
And I do like the kid that's in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
In it, I mean, he's kind of a smart ass. And
what's his name? Wolf. I forget his name. Wolfgard. Something. I don't know.
But I mean, I liked how he was kind of that smart ass kid in it.
Yeah.
And it'd be,
Yeah.
They need to have him in a more extended role in It Part 2 instead of just like a 5-minute flashback or 2-minute flashback.
Yeah.
Like, give us a little bit more time with that cast.
He's got a bright future. I mean, he's in some great stuff right now, and I love Stranger Things. So that's it. It's kind of short on movies today. I didn't want to touch on topics that were like weeks. I'm old on news and stuff like that. I wanted to kind of get some stuff that was just fresh. We'll have more topics next week on movies. So yeah, this is just a update. That's it, guys. Sorry for the big gap in between episodes, but we're gonna come back strong. We're gonna come back hard, and every week. Yeah. Anything you want to say, Martin?
No.
All right.
We'll be back next week with some more.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is Destination Station. I'm Destin.
Martin.
And I'll see you guys next week. Probably somewhere in between. I'm pretty sure I'll upload something on my channel. I don't know. What's Brewing will be back next week. All right, guys. Peace.